Alright, so hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode number 3 of this probably new series. I'm probably going to turn this into a playlist because I like where this is going. Okay, I made a video about the support class. You guys gave me feedback, you gave me your opinions. Then I made another video where I read those comments and I raged a bit for no apparent reason. It wasn't because of you, I just got there myself somehow. And today I'm reading the comments from the second video, and once again I'm gonna give you my opinion. And when this video comes out, once again you can leave your comments and I'll give you, and it will go on and on and on. I really like where this is going. This is cool. So today we're gonna start off with Mr. Animations the Mage, and he wrote 2 comments. I'm gonna go over them one by one. And the first one is, WoW can still be a good game. They just have to fix the mistakes they've made since Wrath of the Lich King, which will piss some people off, but make the game better in the long run. No more cross-realm and talent points. Make more class-specific buffs and spells. Fix the game numbers somehow so leveling isn't so goddamn boring. Or Blizzard does is make the game easier. They need to do the opposite. And they would have a good game again. I don't think they have to remove the mistakes per se, because too many people would leave, and that's what Blizzard cares about. What I like, let me tell you something. I've been raging about the Timeless Isle for as far as I can remember. I didn't like it on PTR. Okay, I think one part of Timeless Isle is absolutely disgraceful, and that's the fact that you can run around. You don't have to do anything, and you can get purples. Now, let me explain to you something. MMOs work on a simple principle. Time equals reward. Okay. When you get item level 476, and you can get it from, let's just say, 2 sources, which is a raid and Timeless Isle, raids require a lot more time and coordination. Timeless Isle does not. Okay, so the effort and the time put into raiding does not equal the effort and time put into Timeless Isle. That's what I don't like. The other part of Timeless Isle I really like. I like the fact that you can grind coins for hours and hours and hours to get a trinket. That's awesome. Why would you like grinding, you might ask? Well, because the time spent for this is equal the reward. Okay? That's how it should be. MMOs always were like this, they are like this, and they will be like this. Time has to equal rewards. If you spend too much time and you get shitty reward, it's boring. If you spend almost no time and you get really good rewards, it would get boring really fast. Okay? This is the Minecraft. I would like to kinda bring in Minecraft to this. Okay? If you're playing Minecraft in creative mode, some people like it. I don't. I like survival mode because when I want to build something, I want to pick up the resources, I want to mine them. I want to put in the time, so at the end, even though the building might look better when you build it in creative mode because you can fly around and see this, but because of the effort and the time spent, you will love your building if you build it in survival mode. Okay? And that's it. If I go into Timeless Isle and I run around for 20 minutes, I pick up loot, and good loot, Mogushan Vault's level of loot, I won't feel satisfied. If I went into Mogushan Vault and I got the loot there, I would be much happier. And people don't realize this, I think, and that's the main problem. But Timeless Isle was a step in a good direction with the grinding of coins. Blizzard basically said, yeah, you can do dailies and stuff, you can pick up all this loot, but you can get pretty good loot if you spend the time to grind the coins, and that's good. They need to stick to that. Okay, don't remove the casual bollocks like the LFG. I like kinda LFG, even though it's terrible. It would be good if you had LFG for your server only, because it would bring back the community. You're talking about cross realms. Cross realms are a terrible thing because it devalues servers. Servers do not matter anymore. And that's a bad thing. Because in vanilla, I remember if I did PvP and I saw, I don't remember the names, but if I saw a certain warrior or a rogue, I was like, oh shit, and everyone was running away from him because they knew he was good. That doesn't matter anymore. Okay? If you're just normally doing PvP and battlegrounds, if you're not doing like rated battlegrounds, no. You just run into people. You don't know who they are, and you don't care. So I think servers need to play a bigger role. And once again, they kinda stepped in the right direction with the Isle of Thunder. I think Timeless Isle is also server specific, isn't it? I haven't spent too much time there, but I think it's also server specific. So that's good. They need to do stuff like this. They're actually doing good steps, even though with one good step they kinda do one step back, but it's not 2 steps backwards as it used to be. So they're kind of starting to get it. Talents are awful. Even though they're easy to change, they don't feel like talents, basically. They're just spells that could actually be baked into the class and it wouldn't matter. And it also hinders leveling. Because, once again, back in the day, when you were leveling, this was the case in Cataclysm as well. It was slightly worse because you got a talent point every other level, but you leveled up and you were like, oh, I can choose a new talent point. It doesn't matter that it's 0.1 second, Shuricast and Fireball. It was something new. It was cool. And I'm experiencing this in Guild Wars 2 with traits. I level up and I'm like, oh, I can choose a new trait. Oh, it does absolutely nothing, but I can click a button and it will make my character slightly better. That's what I think is missing from leveling. The same thing with spells. Even though it sometimes was kind of annoying in vanilla, TBC, and I think even Wrath, you had to learn new spells like every other level. So you had to go back to the town and you had to learn the spells, but it was exciting. Even though, once again, it was another rank of Mortal Strike. You were like, ooh, I'm gonna get a new Mortal Strike, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna do more damage, it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna cost me all my gold, but it's gonna be awesome. So, that's another thing that I think is really missing. You just get spells. The only thing I can kind of compare this to, it's not as great as it used to be, but you can still look at a spell book and be like, ooh, I'm gonna get this in 3 levels. But it's not as fun as going to the trainer and being like, oh, I get all this new stuff. That's cool. That's awesome. So, but they're doing steps in the good direction. They're taking ideas from Guild Wars 2. And don't lie to yourself, they are. The tagging system, gone. Do you know which game does that? Guild Wars 2. You don't have to tag, you don't have to, be in a group to tag a mob. They do this with rares. Guild Wars does it with everything, but they're not there yet. Because, people would exploit it. Horribly. But they're taking good ideas from Guild Wars 2, which is good. That's what WoW does. That's what Blizzard does. They see something really cool in another game, and they go, huh, we're gonna borrow this, and we're gonna implement it, and it's gonna be polished. Which is good. And I'm actually very happy that Guild Wars 2 is something Blizzard is looking at, and they go, huh. They still kind of have a couple of million players, so it can't be that terrible, and people really like some stuff. So we're just gonna, borrow a couple of things, which is good. That will make the game better. But generally, I think the game is slowly moving towards becoming something better, because Blizzard realized that giving, more and more stuff in the casual department does not help. People started leaving the game, and they went, oh shit, we need to give them more gear, more this, more that, and all this bollocks. People were still leaving. And Blizzard went, oh, maybe that's not the solution then. We need to do something else. And I think they're moving in the right direction with this. Even though it's still kind of terrible. Timeless Isle isn't a place where you go to have fun, for instance. You go there to grind things. And it shows, because when you're there not to have fun and to grind things, when people are kind of done with grinding, they don't go there anymore. Yesterday I waited for about an hour to get a group for the Celestial World bosses, because there was around, I don't know, 20 people running around the island. That was it, and I'm on a very populated server. Okay, it's the server, it's one of two servers where Czech and Slovakian people are, because we have similar languages. We can understand each other's languages without actually learning them. They have some different words, we have some different words, you know, but generally the language is pretty much the same. So, you know, we have two servers for two nations, basically. Drakthul, which is where I am, is a PvP server where a lot of PvE is going on as well. Our top PvE guild is something, they're like rank, what, 50? I think Irajr, rank 50. I don't know, I haven't checked World of Logs in a while. But it's a very populated server, and Thomas Isle is kinda dead. Because people are done with grinding and there is nothing fun to do. And that's what I think is the difference that Blizzard needs to, you know, the difference between Guild Wars 2 and the Timeless Isle stuff is the difference Blizzard needs to kind of realize. Okay, Guild Wars 2, when you're fighting a boss, you can only get loot from him once a day. But I can do the boss 3 times a day and I will be satisfied from it. I can't loot the big chest, but the fight is satisfying because you have people working together, and it's actually difficult. Some of the new world bosses they added are pretty damn hard. And most of the time, this is the cool thing, the boss comes, you have to do certain things. You know, you have to meet some conditions to kill him. Most of the time, we just don't have the people, we don't do it in time, and the boss just fucks off. It's not there anymore. We were slow, we were too slow, and the boss just fucked off. It was like, ah, no, they ain't killing me, and he flies away. And we were like, oh, well, we fucked up, I guess. So that's cool. Blizzard needs to put the element of failure into normal open world content. It's not there now. Of course, you have mobs that charge you and hit you for 80% of your maximum health, but that's not what we want, really, is it? We want stuff that we can run away from and just give classes a bit more abilities, couple more abilities they can use on move, and just make the enemies do ground effect stuff. And I still don't understand why some ground effects have the circle around them showing you where it's gonna hit you, and some of them don't. Like yesterday we killed Form Predictor's Heroic. The poison on that fight is absolute fucking bollocks. You can't see it. It's so stupid. You can't see it. You have to look on the ground to find the ground effect. So they need to fix that as well, Blizzard. But yeah, generally I think the game is moving in the right direction. It's baby steps, but it's still better than walking backwards, tripping over and breaking your head open. The second comment from Animations the Mage is, PvP is garbage, don't PvP, okay? Anyways, good educational video, lol. You rage a lot, fucking hilarious. Rage is a passionate thing. I rage because I care. Okay? That's it. That's it. I rage because I care. I want things to get better. I want to play a good game. Should have heard me raging last night doing arena. All we got were warrior or hunter cleaves, warrior plus hunter, pissed off fucking mage. But we got General Nazgrim down in 25 man, so happy about that. Congratulations to you, my friend, on that. I really like 25 man. They need to bring it back big time. On subject, if Blizz brought back talent points, did a whole number revamp, no more 500,000 health. Yeah, that's actually another thing. Are we gonna go... Our DKs already have over 1 mil health. It's stupid. I always thought it was kind of ridiculous, you know, increasing numbers this rapidly. I just, you know, how I imagined expansions in vanilla was they are gonna add more zones and more raids with better items. I couldn't kind of imagine why would they increase the level cap. But after they released the Burning Crusade, it was very apparent that it was a gear reset. Okay, they need to reset gear, because bad players would feel bad. Oh, they have easier time killing this boss that I should not be killing anyway. Well, have a gear reset. So that's what Blizzard did. I don't think they're gonna do anything with the health, but it's gonna be pretty damn ridiculous. It's already kind of difficult to track all the things, and it's just, I don't know. I think they should just stick with the level cap. Just keep the freaking level cap and give us better items that increase our stuff. Not by too much, but, you know, by a bit. And next, what are they gonna do? Next expansion, 2 million health, hitting 5 million with 90% resilience. Fuck that. Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. Now, the numbers are getting a little too big, in my opinion. What do you think about that, guys? I think the numbers are just getting way too big. I think they are way too big. They need to kind of, you know, it's fun to see big numbers, but eventually we're gonna just get to a point where spell it's not gonna hit for XXX, it's gonna hit for 2.3M. That's not fun. Okay, because you can't have like these big numbers on the screen because they're just too fucking big. So I think they need to do something about that, but I don't think they're gonna do something about that. I don't think so. Next comment, Mr. Ali Althani. Blah da 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 da. This is why I leveled a druid and a hunter, because they are different from other classes. Druid was the class I played for 3 years with no alts. After 3 years, I leveled my hunter. Yeah, druids are absolutely amazing. I love druids. Yesterday on the Fallen Protectors fight, I was healing quite a bit, and it felt really good. It felt like council. It's basically the council boss, and no on heroic. It's good to have another healer, DPS, pumping out some DPS with Trank and Heart of the Wild. It was cool. Next member, 1459. I semi-AFK in BGs and LFR so that I can do the content on normal and heroic and also do arenas. Yes, that shows that I either worded myself poorly, which is, you know, the option I would say is valid or is the better one, or people did not understand me, which, you know, kind of doesn't make sense. I think I worded myself incorrectly and very poorly. I was talking about why would people do battlegrounds when they don't like battlegrounds. And then I've said that I either have to have a purpose or it needs to be fun. Then I will do it. Yeah, I was basically talking about people doing battlegrounds to get gear to do battlegrounds, but they don't want to do battlegrounds because they're botting and, you know, they're AFKing and stuff. So I wasn't talking about people like you that do LFR so they can do normal, or do battlegrounds so they can do arenas. I was talking about people that just don't have purpose. You have a purpose for what you're doing. Okay, you're willing to sleep through LFR like me to get gear for normal and heroic mode. That's a purpose. It's not fun, but it's a purpose. So I'm kind of okay with that. But I was just talking about people that do battlegrounds for the sake of doing more battlegrounds. So they hate themselves while doing battlegrounds to get gear to do battlegrounds and hate themselves. Same with LFR. You know, people that hate LFR and do LFR to get gear in order to do more LFR are retarded, in my opinion. They're just stupid, straight up stupid. Why would you do something like that? The next comment is from the Mr. Blonde Mop. And he says, in my opinion, I have now done PvE and PvP. I found that in PvE there was always a bit of friendly competition between numbers. Especially between a few of us, where we was pushing a lot of damage out back in Dragon Soul. But I found that fun. But if I solo queue dungeons, I won't complain about numbers. It depends on what people actually enjoy. Yes, it's fun. You know, friendly competition with the damage meter is fun. It stops being fun when damage meter is everything you care about. You care about killing bosses. You know, yesterday, once again, Fallen Protectors, we bloodlust and our mage goes 1.2 million DPS. From nowhere, he's just nothing, 1.2 million. And we were like, oh, look at that sucker being all mage and shit. He goes, shut the fuck up, you dick. You know, and it's friendly, we have a laugh, and, you know, it's fun. But it stops being fun when it's about recount and nothing else. When you're a healer, your tanks are dying because you want to have the most healing, so you're spamming AoE heals on the group. You're a DPS, and instead of killing something, like I saw this in the Scarlet Monastery, there was a boomkin there, and he had pretty good gear. He wasn't, like new or something. And we were doing the monk guy. He wasn't doing any damage to the monk. He was dotting up the training dummies. Okay, we had a little bit of competition. We had kind of similar gear, and we were kind of, trying to get. That's what I do in dungeons. When I see a good boomkin, I try to be better than him, because there is nothing else to do in dungeons. But he was actually just straight up dotting up the training dummies and DPSing them down to have more DPS. And that's how people are. That wasn't, friendly or something. That was just stupid. We're just like, oh, look at me. I have more damage than you here. You have more damage than I have here. Then he starts dotting up training dummies, and I'm like, really? Because of you trying to be first on the damage meter, you will basically waste our time because you're not DPSing the boss. I was just going balls deep on the boss because I want to kill it as fast as I can, and I want to get into another dungeon to get more valor so I can cap. No, he was just DPSing the training dummies down just to be number one. This is what kind of people we have in the game. They're willing to dot up training dummies that can't die and actually waste your fucking time in the dungeon to be first on damage meter. Do you think that's okay? I don't. I don't think that's okay at all. But in a raid where you have, your buddies, you're having a laugh, and you're like, oh, look at him being on Feldroid and shit and stuff. Yeah, that's fine. That's fun. You're having fun with friends. I can't tell you what to do. But, as I've said, if someone is just dotting up training dummies and is wasting your time in order to be first, that's where my problem starts. Okay? That's my opinion on that. Next comment is Mr. Cool00. I think people do BGs to get gear for Arena and LFR to get gear for normal modes or flex. Yes, that's purpose. Once again, I've already talked about this. That's purpose. Those people have a purpose. I'm okay with that. I'm willing to see through LFR if there is an item that I really want. I run certain bosses in LFR to get trinkets, for instance. I finally got my trinket yesterday. I got the multi-strike trinket, which I'll probably make a video about, by the way. I'll probably do a kind of a Boomkin's Guide to Trinkets in Siege of Orgrimmar. Would you like that? Would you? I think I might do that. I was thinking about it quite a bit today. But yeah, this is a purpose, okay? These people have a purpose. I'm okay with that. I'm not okay with people that don't have a purpose, As I've said, do LFR, hate LFR, to do more LFR, and nothing else. I'm talking about people that don't do normal mode, that don't do arenas and stuff like that. And the last comment comes from Mr. Impzors, and he says, well, PvP is pretty shitty if you don't have the gear. That's the big problem. You get one shot or hardly do any damage. Well, that just shows how flawed the PvP system is. Once again, I'm going to refer to Guild Wars 2, because that's what I think should happen for arenas. You should get a preset, gear. Everyone should have the same gear that you can customize, but it will be the same gear. So if you're a warrior and you meet another warrior, he needs to have the same gear. And they should do it from the very start. From what I understand, from what people that do arenas say, arenas basically are a race for gear. Who gets the gear first? If you get the gear first, you have better gear than everyone else and you're gonna win. That's not what competitive PvP, which arenas are, is about. It's about class combinations and, synergy and all this good stuff. But it's also about gear, which is bad. It should not be about gear. It should only be about the class compositions and the skill and, how well the 2 players or 3 or 5 players interact with each other. Are they clever? then they should win. If they're better than you, but you have better gear, and you win because you have better gear, then that means that the system is wrong. And Guild Wars 2 did it in a really good way. You want to do structured PvP? Yeah. Here, have a set of gear that you can customize, but everyone basically has the same set of gear. The way you customize it is via runes, and you can customize your own traits, you can choose your own skills, but everyone has the same gear. That's what I think they should do for arenas. What do you guys think? Should they do that? Or do you really want to race for gear when the new arena season comes in? And the first person to have the gear, or the first team to have the gear, has a very big advantage. Which I don't think is right. PvP should be about skill. And it should be about class composition and interaction between players. That's what I think, personally. And then once again, same thing with LFR. People love raiding, but they hate LFR, blah, 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 blah. Once again, those people have purpose. If you want to do LFR to get gear for normal mode and flex, Godspeed you, mad bastard. I do that as well. Okay? I do that as well. But yeah, these are the comments from the previous video. My opinions, even though putting opinions on the internet is very dangerous. But I'm a brave man. So yeah, here they are. Shower me with your comments, and hopefully I can make another video. I really like doing this. This is really cool, you know? Kinda this YouTube style of discussion. It's really cool. I never thought I'd do anything like that, but here we are. So yeah, here it is. I thank you a lot for listening. Footage in the background once again is there just to be there. It's looping because, you know, I thought it's gonna be a 15-minute video. It's half an hour. It's 30 minutes. But yeah, I thank you a lot for listening. Leave me your comments, you know. We can have another discussion. It's gonna be cool. And yeah, thank you a lot for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.